What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to this week's installment on The Lake Show, and I really appreciate you all making me a part of your day again. I finally have someone back on, my good friend from college, Ryan Laird. Ryan, how you been, brother?
I've been good. How about you?
Oh, you know, living life, post-college life, working all the time, podcasting, and pretty much nothing else.
Yeah.
How about you, man? What's new?
Same thing. Just getting ready to finish up college here, and just got done with an internship, and
Oh, yeah?
just getting ready for football season.
Where's your internship?
I work down in Youngstown at Center Street Technologies.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do there?
I did database admin, and I did some software development there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smart people shit that I don't know anything about. I'm a business major, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were always cooking up in that engineering field, though,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Got to keep it going.
Got to keep it going.
Yep.
And I appreciate you all making us a part of your day today. So last week, I obviously discussed the week 1 of college football, and I will have another episode coming out this Thursday. My entire preview of college football week 2 and the recap of college football week 1. And I went 4 for 4 on all those picks I talked about last week. So I'm very excited for you all to check that out. But today, we're going to be talking NFL week 1. Because it starts this Thursday, and we are all ready for the Ravens to walk into Kansas City and win. So, obviously, as you all know, I'm a Bucked Up ambassador, so use promo code SHOW32, get yourself 20% off any and all pre-workout orders at buckedup.com. How about that intro?
Yeah, that's great. I just don't agree with the Baltimore pick, though.
You don't?
No, Patrick Mahomes got it.
You think Pat Mahomes, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, what is it about... Like, okay, I know Patrick Mahomes is great. I know he's great. But wouldn't any other quarterback be great with Andy Reid at the helm? Don't forget, I really think Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
I just think he's really talented. His vision, that's something I've never seen from any other quarterback before. I don't know if you saw the preseason clip of him throwing the behind the back pass.
See, like, that's the only...
not normal.
See, that's not normal, and if that was any other quarterback in the league, they'd be fucking benched.
Yeah.
Imagine if
a
rookie quarterback did. Imagine if Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels or Drake fucking May tried to do that.
Oh, yeah. They'd be benched so fast, especially Drake May.
I'm not a fan of Drake May.
I'm not a fan of him either.
Oh, we're going to talk a lot about that.
Can't wait.
All right, guys. So we're going to dive into every single game. We're going to dive into every single week 1 game. We're going to make our predictions on those games, and we're going to talk about some headlines that may or may not affect the outcomes of this games. And then at the end, we have our, 5 picks that we're going to bet on, via FanDuel. FanDuel, you can always sponsor me, you know that. I mean, that'd be kind of dope.
Give that man a sponsor.
Yeah, literally. Come on now. We're building something here. We need a sponsor over here. Come on now. And, it'd be fitting if it was a gambling company.
Yeah, for sure.
Italians love to gamble.
Uh-huh.
But I'm also a degenerate sports gambler.
Yep.
All right, so week 1... Thursday, September 5th, we got the first game of the year. We have the Baltimore Ravens at the Kansas City Chiefs. What are we thinking about this game?
I'm going Kansas City money line on this one.
Okay.
I think Baltimore's lost a little bit from their defense this year.
Okay.
And Kansas City's had a few upgrades and stuff, and I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Both the teams are great, honestly, and have potential to go all the way, but I got Kansas City.
Okay. So I'm the complete opposite. I'm with Baltimore.
Okay.
That wide receiving core is very concerning to me, especially because they just cut Kadarius Toney, as we all saw that. But they did pick up Juju Smith-Schuster. So isn't it funny? Didn't he just get cut from Kansas City last year, played with New England, and now he's back? That's kind of funny. Yeah. But you need a veteran wide receiver. I'm a firm believer in the NFL. You need a vet, at least one vet wide receiver in that wide receiving room. Especially guys like Xavier Worthy, he's going to be good. I don't trust that, just like a lot of the issues the Chiefs had last year, I still don't think they have that go-to wide receiver. I think they do. Obviously, they proved they don't need him. Yeah. But I think against a defense like Baltimore, I think they will need guys to, be able to create separation. And I don't necessarily know, other than Xavier Worthy, if they have that. And Juju Smith-Schuster's up in age. So I personally don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be able to handle the run game that Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are going to present to them. So I'm going with Baltimore.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think with the passing game. Obviously, you got Xavier Worthy, the rookie, and I think Travis Kelce almost acts as a wide receiver for how many targets he gets and how talented he is.
He basically is a wide receiver.
So with him kind of leading the group there, I think that'll be good. And obviously, week 1 they're missing Marquise Brown, so that's going to be a tough one for them.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one for him.
Former Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Former Raven.
Give him a few weeks to come back, and I think the Chiefs' offense is going to be real good, but obviously a little banged up right now. But I'm still going with them week 1. I think Pacheco is going to run all over him.
I love Pacheco. I love the way he runs.
He just runs hard. I've never seen him.
I think that's just what you want out of a running back. I think anybody who plays running back, I feel like that's what you want him to do.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a baller for sure.
Well, hold on. Okay, I was just making sure that we were recording.
Yeah, that would be bad.
I would have fucking screamed.
Yeah.
All right.
That would have been bad.
So you're taking Kansas City. I'm taking Baltimore. So I think Baltimore. Here's the thing about the Chiefs. They're proven. Yeah. You know, Patrick Mahomes, he's already a Hall of Famer based off his resume. Lamar Jackson, I feel like he needs this game and needs this season. I don't think there's no more excuses. Yeah. He has good receivers. He has Derrick Henry while he's older.
Yeah.
He still has a fantastic offensive line. That defense is always good in Baltimore. That I don't think there's been a year I've been alive on this planet that Baltimore didn't have at least a okay to solid defense. So
agreed.
I think Baltimore, they have a sort of a different sense of urgency this year. So that's why I'm leaning Baltimore.
Makes sense. Yeah. It's a tough matchup, honestly.
It's a good one to start off the year.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Sure. We got one. We also got a matchup on Friday. How about that? Like, I don't know how I feel about that because I'm used to college being on a Friday, you know, 1 or 2 games on I'm not used to an NFL Friday game, but I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm not used to it either, and it's definitely different than the Monday, Thursday, Sunday mix of it. And I don't know if I like it, honestly. I like the Monday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, it's always been that.
Monday, Thursday, Saturday.
It's weird. Change is weird, but I'm open to it. More football, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But so Friday, September 6th, we got the Green Bay Packers going into Philadelphia. I told you who I think is going to win this game, and you were kind of surprised about it.
Yeah, I was.
So for me, I'm going with Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers to walk into Philadelphia and win week 1.
I'm going with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles week 1.
Why? Let me ask you, because Jalen Hurts at the end of the last year, I still think Hurts is a stud. I really do. But there's a lot of new pieces. The offensive line is going to be way different without Jason Kelce. I don't think they'll be scrubs, but I definitely, you lose probably the greatest center of all time.
Yeah, no, I get that. But my line of thinking for this one is you got Jalen Hurts, now Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. Who's going to guard those guys? It was already hard enough to guard Jalen Hurts with his running ability before, but now you add on one of the, I'd say, top 5 running backs in the league.
I'd argue top 3.
Yeah.
I said this year that Barkley would prove why I think is better than Christian McCaffrey. That's just from me.
Yeah.
I love Saquon Barkley, always have since he played at Penn State. But so here's my thing with Philly. I could be completely wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong because I still have Philadelphia in my Super Bowl bubble. Any team that can win the Super Bowl right now. And I think Philly qualifies as that team.
For sure.
My issue with Philly has always been, at least the past year and a half, has been the loss of Shane Steichen. He's the head coach now at Indianapolis.
Yep.
Ever since he left, his mechanics have been off. His decision-making has been worse. He's more turnover prone. He's not as patient in the pocket. He rushes a lot of throws. I'm still worried that, Nick Sirianni is not going to right the ship. And it's no surprise that those two do not get along whatsoever. It's been reported that by, various outlets like ESPN and Fox Sports 1. So for me, I'm wondering if that bludgeoning Tampa Bay put on them in the playoffs will carry over into this season. I think it's going to be a close matchup. It's a go either way game. But, I think everybody... Of course, I accidentally click on that.
Yeah.
But I'm thoroughly convinced that Jordan Love is the real deal, and I think he's about to show out this year. And I think this week, this Friday, I think he proves it.
Yeah, I think Jordan Love's the real deal as well, but I just think there's too many pieces to the Eagles now, and I think they're going to be a tough team to stop. Before, really, if you won the key in on the run, you had the key in on Jalen Hurts or like the tush push.
That's true.
And or it's either that, or you just had to watch out for A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith with the deep ball there. But now you throw in one of the better running backs in the whole entire NFL. You got two different rush players to stop at any given time, along with one of the better wide receivers in the league at the moment and a good wide receiver too. I just think the offense is going to be too explosive.
I can get behind that. I really think it is a go either way game. I do not think this is going to be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, everybody thought Dallas was going to, hang 40 on Green Bay in the wild card. Yeah. What did I tell everybody? You don't bet the Cowboys in the playoffs. They choke every single year. I was so happy when I watched that.
Yep.
It was the best moment ever.
Not a big Cowboys guy.
Not a big Cowboys guy?
I think they're good. I'm just not a fan.
Oh, we're going to talk about the Cowboys. Trust me, I'm going all in on that.
Okay.
You thought Stephen A. Smith would go in on the Cowboys? Trust me, I'm going in worse. All right, so now we're moving. So you're taking Philly. I'm taking Green Bay.
Yep.
So now we move on to the Sunday slate. The 1 o'clock games, starting with Pittsburgh at Atlanta. So I am the most pessimistic I've ever been being a Steeler fan for this year. I'm still taking Pittsburgh to win this game.
I'm taking Pittsburgh as well, but why is that?
I do not feel good about this quarterback situation at all.
Yeah.
I think we are Pittsburgh. I said this either last week or 2 weeks ago. Pittsburgh should have moved off of Big Ben after he got injured that 1 year and cost him that entire year. The year Mason Rudolph, Duck Hodges, and I forget, there was one, Josh Dobbs, were all taking snaps for Pittsburgh. Now, Tomlin still bullshit his way to a 9-10 win season. I'm still taking Pittsburgh to win this game because it's Kirk Cousins, but he's still good in the 1 o'clock window.
Yeah.
But, and I'm a Yinzer. I'm a diehard Steeler fan. I just want to see what we have, but I don't trust Russell Wilson. I wish we started Justin Fields. I really do. But Justin Fields has a fumble problem. I don't know why he can't hold on to the fucking football. Even when he doesn't get touched, he seems to fumble, at least in my opinion. And Pittsburgh's offensive line is atrocious. But that defense, I am so high on Pittsburgh's defense that I think they win this game.
Yeah.
Same way they've been winning the past 2 years, defense.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think they win as well. Their defense is phenomenal. And that's the thing. Justin Fields, another thing about him, his decision-making is very poor. I don't know.
Oh, it's got awful.
He misses people open because he's looking for a hole to run, or he's not looking for a hole to run and misses the hole to run and tries to force it into like double coverage, or his decision-making's not there. However, I think he's very talented. I think he has a lot of potential. Just needs some development. I think that's an interesting quarterback situation as well. I think Russ will be starting week 1.
He is. Tomlin made that decision I want to say last week.
Yeah, and I think it's going to take a little bit for them to get things figured out there at the quarterback position. But if they do get it figured out, I could see it happening a few weeks in, and I think they could be pretty good, honestly, because like we talked about, that defense is one of the best in the NFL this year. So
easily.
Yeah.
I will say one of my dark horse. When I made my Super Bowl bubble last week. So here in my Super Bowl bubble, I have the 49ers, I have the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Lions. Those are 5 teams. I don't think they need to change anything about their roster, and they can win the Super Bowl right now. I had the Browns on my outskirts of the Super Bowl bubble. I don't trust them anymore because of Watson. I moved Atlanta there because I can't think of a single hole Atlanta has. Quarterback, check. Running back, wide receiver, tight end, line, D-line, backers, safeties, Justin Simmons, and Jesse Bates. That's easily the best safety tandem in the league now. I don't feel good about picking Pittsburgh, but again, I still think Tomlin somehow, some way is going to bullshit despite the stacked schedule towards the back end of the year. I think he'll BS his way to another 9-win season.
Yeah, and getting the quarterback upgrade this year, even though it's hard to call Kirk Cousins an upgrade. It's tough to say it on mic, but when you're looking at Desmond Ridder from last year.
We got a Vikings fan right here, guys, so he knows all about Kirk Cochains.
Yeah, I'm not big on him, but honestly, when there's Desmond Ridder, you always got an upgrade with just about whoever you take. So.
He sucked.
He was so bad. He's the backup, I think, somewhere now. Unless he just got cut.
I think he got cut.
I thought I saw that. Yeah.
That dude was so good at Cincinnati. Though.
I know.
He took Bama. He took on Bama in the college football playoff that 1 year. He actually didn't do bad. Cincinnati was in a position that entire day to win. But,
you hate to see college football stars turn into NFL nothings.
Literally.
But
who knows? But we're both going Steelers, despite, me, I don't feel good about it. Next game, Arizona Cardinals at Buffalo Bills. So you were taking an interesting pick on this one, right?
I am. I'm taking the Cardinals in this one over the Bills.
Wow. So I'm taking Buffalo.
Okay.
Despite having, they've had injuries recently, but they're I'm a little down on Buffalo. I don't think they win the AFC East. I don't think they win it. But they will be competitive as long as they have Josh Allen. I will always give them the benefit of the doubt because other than Mahomes, who's accounted for more touchdowns in the NFL since entering the league, Josh Allen. Yeah. So they are really banking on Keon Coleman to be like their Stephon Diggs replacement. But again, I'm not high on Stephon Diggs anymore, even though I drafted him in like one fantasy league.
I did too.
I'm not high on him because he's a locker room cancer. But right now, I'm taking Buffalo. You're taking Cardinals. That's an intriguing pick.
Yeah, I think Marv has a good week 1.
Marv is so good.
He's so good.
He's so good.
So good. I think Kyler Murray and Marv are going to have a good week 1. Obviously, James Conner's not the ideal running back, but I think he's going to have a good week 1 as well.
Yeah.
I think they just slipped past him. I know it's on the road here, but again, I think they slipped past him in this one. Buffalo's a lot weaker this year. Lost a lot of wide receivers. They're relying on people like Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, their tight end Dalton Kincaid, people like that. I just think they're gonna have a down year, but
I do too.
They won't be bad, but
no, they'll be fighting for a wild card spot in my opinion. So he's going Arizona. I'm going Buffalo.
Yep.
Next 1:00 window game, Tennessee going on the road to the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. I have Chicago in this,
I do
and
too.
it might not even be close.
Yeah, I'm not a big Tennessee Titans guy. They don't have a whole lot. Their running back room's pretty nice.
Who's in the running back room now?
You got Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard.
Who?
Tajay
and who?
Spears. Yeah,
Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard screwed me last year in fantasy. It was so bad, but Listen, that offensive line is a turnstile.
Yep.
For Will Levis, he's trash.
Yeah.
I don't like Will Levis whatsoever. Here's the thing. I know Keenan Allen came in 15 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
So dude might as well be a tight end with Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
But I said this even months before the draft, when we knew Caleb Williams would be taken number 1 overall. I said he's in the class of like a Trevor Lawrence and Andrew Luck, a Joe Burrow. It didn't matter where he was going to end up, he was going to succeed. And I still believe that about Caleb Williams. I know he showed flash in the preseason. Obviously, it's just preseason. It's all hearsay right now.
Yep.
But when it comes to the Bears, you got DeAndre Swift at running back. You have Cole Kmet at tight end. Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and a solid defense.
You got DJ Moore as well.
DJ Moore, too. So, I don't know. I'm high on Chicago this year to at least maybe win 9 games.
Yeah.
I think they'll be fighting for... I don't think they'll win. Is it the NFC North they're in?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't pick them to win a division because they still got the Vikings to go through, right? The Packers and Detroit. I don't think they have a chance to do that, but I think they will be vying for a wild card spot.
Definitely not winning the division, but I think this is going to be the best Bears team we've seen in years. That's not saying a lot, but
no, it's not. But
they'll be fun to watch.
This is the best. This is the most talented quarterback that the Bears have ever had.
For sure, and they got talent around him with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen,
which is what they should have done with Justin Fields.
Yep.
If you look at the history of all these defensive head coaches, they develop and draft offensive talent putridly. Pittsburgh is the one exception where they draft everybody like solid. They just can't get the damn offensive line right. The Bears just don't do anything right. But no. I think they did right by Caleb Williams. They're putting, they're going all in for Caleb. I think it's smart. I do.
And I got to ask, with Keenan Allen coming in overweight, and obviously he's a little older, do you think it's going to go like DJ Moore as the wide receiver 1, Rome Odunze wide receiver 2, and Keenan Allen wide receiver 3? Or do you think Keenan Allen's wide receiver 2 or 1? Or?
I think Keenan Allen's wide receiver 2. Rome Odunze, he's still a rookie, so he's not going to be thrust in immediately to be the starting wide receiver. I think he'll definitely get his reps this week. But when it comes, DJ Moore is just otherworldly. He's definitely a number 1. Keenan Allen used to be. If his age is concerning to me, obviously the overweight, I understand that, but I'll take Keenan Allen to probably be the second man up, and then Rome Odunze. They're all three going to play.
Yeah.
But DJ Moore is easily the best in that wide receiving core. And, I still like Keenan Allen, despite being, he's older, overweight, but he still has great hands.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think he'll be wide receiver too.
Yep.
I agree. You ready to move on?
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. So next 1 o'clock window game, New England Patriots at Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going Cincinnati.
I'm going Cincinnati as well.
I don't think there's much to say other than Joe Burrow's healthy. They got Jamar Chase. Is he playing?
I don't think it's been said yet.
Okay. What's going on with him? Is he injured?
No, contract dispute.
The fucking course.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Every one of these wide receivers, it's always contracts, always the money.
So I guess a thing with this contract is there's 2 years left on it where people like CD Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, there was 1 year on it. So there's more. I don't know if it's going to end up working out before this season, and then I've heard it could bleed into some of the games.
I can see that happening, but I don't get why. Like, he has 2 years left.
Yeah.
Like, what is the big deal waiting 1 more year? One more.
And on top of it, you lose a lot of money. I mean, I know you can make a lot more money, but it's just, I don't like it.
Yeah, just look at the position that the Niners are in compared to the Cowboys, compared to the Bengals. Like, the Cowboys needed to pay CeeDee Lamb. Otherwise, their wide receiving core is New England. Speaking of New England, they have nobody at wide receiver.
Demario Douglas, that's it.
KJ Osborne, you remember that name.
Yeah.
He was solid.
He was.
For the Vikings. I wish they never got rid of him.
He had a really good, 3, 4, 5 games. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Unfortunately, he's with the Patriots now with no quarterback to throw to him. I don't trust New England whatsoever. I think they're going to be bottom of the barrel in the NFL. I don't like Drake May at all. I think he was a more athletic, more accurate version of Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
That's not saying much, but at the same time, I know he popped in his last preseason game. I still don't like him. I still don't think he's going to be a successful quarterback. I can look at every other quarterback that played in this preseason, including J.J. McCarthy before he got injured. They showed a little bit of flash.
Yeah.
Drake May showed nothing.
Yeah, and another thing, I was watching some of his college highlights and stuff, and one thing I noticed is his arm strength seemed to be down compared to a lot of other quarterbacks. I saw a lot of his wide receivers making really nice plays because he was underthrowing them, just stuff like that. You never want to see an arm strength down in the quarterback.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And I watched Drake May his entire college career because I'm a Miami fan, so I watch ACC quarterbacks and ACC play. He wasn't that great. He really wasn't. So I'm taking Cincinnati, maybe in probably a landslide, because, yes, it's in Cincinnati. So
yeah. I think Cincinnati is one of the most favorited teams this upcoming week as well.
100%.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Rightfully so. You go from Bill Belichick to Gerard Mayo. I think you go from Bill Belichick to Bill Belichick 2.0. It's a defensive head coach again.
Yeah.
There's only 1 or 2 defensive coaches I'll give benefit of the doubt in this league, and that's Tomlin and Pete Carroll because all they do is win. Mm-hmm. So those are the only 2 that get a pass. I say pass hesitantly because, is it really? I can't really give them a pass because of how much underachieving they do. But,
defenses are always pretty solid.
Always. So Cincinnati over New England.
Yep.
Next, we got Houston traveling to Indianapolis. This is going to be a good game. The underrated game that people probably aren't talking about enough. Anthony Richardson coming back against C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud now has Stephon Diggs, the locker room cancer.
Yep.
So we're going to see how well that meshes together. I even heard reports that he's already bitching.
Yeah.
In practice.
Yeah.
You got guys like Brevin Jordan at tight end, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. Mm-hmm. Diggs should be the guy all right, I see what we got here. Mm-hmm. Let's expand upon it and go completely ballistic. I have Houston just on the cusp of the Super Bowl bubble.
Yeah.
I love Stroud. I'm taking Houston in a close one because I do love Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, that offensive line. The defense is solid still.
Yep.
But I'll take Houston right now.
Yeah, I take Houston as well, and I think it's going to be a close game. I think this has the potential to be the highest scoring game of the week.
Easily.
I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth. Both have 2 big boom offenses, and I think it's going to be a great one. I think my prediction is Houston in the 50s. Houston in the 40s, and the Colts in the 30s.
All right. I can make a prediction like 41-38 kind of game.
It's going to be a high-scoring one, I think.
Yeah, so we're both going Houston.
Yep.
All right, next 1 o'clock window, we got Jacksonville making the trip to Miami. So I'm not really a fan of Trevor Lawrence anymore. I know he's a good quarterback. I'm just not a fan of him anymore. They started off hot last year, then he got hurt, and everybody else, including Calvin Ridley, I never should have took him last year. He screwed me. He screwed me more than Tony Pollard last year in fantasy. But Miami, they're locked and loaded. I think they're going in. They're going all in this year. Like they have to succeed somewhat with Tua. Everybody's talking about Tua being the guy. It's the same dispute going on with like Lamar. Like can he take him over the top? Well, Tua doesn't have a playoff win yet. Lamar does. So, I'm still going to lean Miami in this game. I think they just have too much speed.
They do.
Too much speed.
Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert, 2 track guys.
Jalen Waddle.
I
know they have Odell Beckham, but he's on IR, at least for the first couple games of the season. Yeah. I'll tell you, their slot wide receiver, I watched, obviously being a Miami Hurricanes fan in college, Braxton Berrios is no pushover when it comes to a slot wide receiver. He reminds me of KJ Osborne.
Yeah.
So, you could thrust him into the lineup. He'll catch the ball. He's obviously their return specialist, and he ran a couple back last year. So
I gotta ask, how do you think the split's gonna go for Achane and Raheem Mostert?
I think based off of Achane's injury, I think Mostert will get probably at least 60 to 70% of the carries. But as the season progresses, I think you'll gradually see Achane take more of the snaps just because Mostert's up in age.
Yeah. I mean, I could see
that
I love
as well. Achane.
Both are a little injury prone, especially Mostert. Mostert's known for the season-ending injuries.
Yeah.
Don't want to wish that upon anybody, but
yeah, it's unfortunate.
I'm a big Raheem Mostert fan this year. His ADP for fantasy football is around 8 or 9.
Okay.
And Achane was around like 3-4. So I think there could be a lot of value with that.
I'll tell you what, people were shocked at when I took Achane last year. Yeah. People were like, what the hell is this dude doing? And I knew something they didn't.
Yeah.
Because I watched a decent amount of Texas A&M football 2 years ago when he was there.
Yeah.
I saw him run roughshod over everybody. Mm-hmm. He was a solid running back in the SEC. So I knew he was going to be okay at Miami.
Yeah, and I'm just like you as well. I'm going Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins week 1.
I don't think that's much a debate.
No.
I think it'll be a somewhat competitive game.
I think so too.
Just because I don't trust Miami completely.
Yeah. So, I don't either.
So we'll see, but I definitely think it'll be an okay game, but Miami.
Yep.
Okay, the next 1 o'clock window, we got we got the garbage show. Yeah. We got the dumpster fires.
The week 1 snoozer.
The week 1 snoozer. I'm not touching this game in a bet or anything. Carolina going to New Orleans. I'm taking... I don't fucking know.
I'm taking New Orleans, sadly. I mean, there's no right answer in this game, honestly.
I'm taking Carolina just because of Bryce Young. I don't trust Derek Carr.
Yeah.
And I wish he was still good. Like, Derek Carr was so good for a long time.
Yeah, he was.
And I'm not rooting for... Well, I wouldn't say I'm not rooting for him, but he's not good. Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
I think he'll be the starter by the end of the year. He showed something at South Carolina. But, dude, this dude loves to throw interceptions. It's like his second job.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And if you're in New Orleans, you just force feed the ball to Kamara.
Literally.
Seems to be their strategy every time, and then force feed to Chris Olave as well.
Yeah.
Throw it up, hope he catches it, hope something happens.
Literally, but they're going to be doubling Olave because they have nobody else.
Yeah.
And they'll put 9. They'll probably put 9 in the box to bracket Kamara.
On the bright side, for Carolina, I think it's 4 to 6 weeks into the season, you got Jonathan Brooks coming back. I think he's going to be a great running back.
I do too.
They'll probably have to ease him in a little bit off the ACL tear, I think is what he had. So, I mean, until then, good luck.
Yeah, literally. These two teams, they'll be fighting for first overall pick next year.
Yeah.
So
them and the Patriots.
These 3 so far.
Yeah.
Well, trust me, we're good. There's one more coming up, and I know 2 more actually that I can see, and I think I know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
So he's going New Orleans. I'm going Carolina, just because. Why the hell not?
Okay.
So we got our final 1 o'clock window game: Minnesota against the New York Giants.
You know who I'm going with.
Mm-hmm. I'm going with you.
Yep.
I don't trust Daniel Jones. I don't trust anything about the New York Giants. I like their wide receiver Malik Neighbors. I do. I do not like Daniel Jones. I do not like that offensive line. They don't. No Saquon Barkley. No
Devin
defensive.
Singletary's the back this year. Old, bro.
Old. Dude's old as fuck.
He's just a bruiser.
He is, but I don't trust Daniel Jones whatsoever. Minnesota. Yeah, I'm just saying. People wanted to dog on Sam Darnold for a long time. Okay, but look at that Jets. Compare it now. Jets obviously have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Who the hell did Sam Darnold have when he came into the league for the Jets? Nobody. So those who wanted to write off Darnold, I'm not ready to do that yet. Because Minnesota, if there's going to be any place that a young quarterback succeeds, and I know Darnold's a little bit older, it's going to be Minnesota. Yeah. Great running back, great offensive line, great receivers, great defense, great special teams. Like, Minnesota's up there. They don't have much holes. I just don't know about the quarterback position. I do think J.J. McCarthy is the future, though.
I do think so as well, and I was so sad to see him go down. And was it training camp or preseason?
Preseason game.
Yeah.
No, I think it was it might have been, I don't know.
It was training camp.
I
could be wrong. But...
No, but he played in the preseason.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He threw a couple dots.
Yeah. Yeah, but I saw some clips out of it, and he looked good, but it's unfortunate to see him go down. And honestly, out of the backups in the league this year, there are a few better ones, but I think Sam Darnold's up there for a backup quarterback. I 100%. Think he can lead them. He has veteran experience.
100%.
So,
and again, I think this is a chance for him to show something. He can earn another contract with someone else. Like, he really can. We all know J.J. McCarthy is going to be the future of Minnesota. You know, he proved that in the preseason games. Like, he's got a whip.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, Sam Darnold, I think too many people wrote him off as, he's a bust. Maybe for where he was drafted, yes, consider a bust. But I also think it matters where you land. So
there's plenty of worse backup quarterbacks around the league.
100%.
I mean, shoot, I'd almost take Sam Darnold over Daniel Jones.
100%.
The only thing I like about Daniel Jones is he does have rushing ability. It's not great. He's not very fast. It doesn't look
until
pretty,
he gets
but he
tackled
gets the
by
yards.
the turf.
Yeah, the turf monster.
The turf monster is always
I've seen that happen way too many times. Face planting in the middle of the field, wide open, no one around them. Stuff like
so
that.
stupid.
Yeah,
I don't like Daniel Jones whatsoever. I know his stats are comparable to some of the other quarterbacks in this league, like a Trevor Lawrence, like a Dak Prescott, at least when it comes to the regular season. But guess what? At some point, you got to win. When he came back in the preseason game, he threw 2 picks.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about
preseason.
here? I saw, it's funny because the week prior, I was watching The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Colin was saying, we dog on Daniel Jones too much. Like, he's not terrible. He comes back and throws 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, and had like a 60 passer rating. I'm like, really? Like, you wonder why we dog on him? It's because he pulls shit like this out of his ass.
Yeah, and I have to ask, and I think I know the answer to this, but that's one of the teams that you think are going to be competing for first pick.
Giants?
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
They need a quarterback.
They do.
They cannot afford more time with Daniel Jones.
No, not at all.
I know there's a lot of good a decent amount of quarterbacks coming out this year.
Look what quarterbacks do for a team, and I know the Chiefs have been pretty good for a while, but they've had years within the last few years, where their team is down, losing like Tyreek Hill, people like that. The offense is down, big name players, but someone like Patrick Mahomes is a great leader. He's so talented. He still gets things done, and you lack that with New York and Daniel Jones.
New York has nothing.
Nothing. They have the Jets. The Jets have hope this year.
The Jets actually have a roster.
I know.
I don't have any hope for the G-men whatsoever.
No.
I'm sorry, Mikey.
Yep.
My buddy Mikey, he's a Giants fan.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But, I think they'll be fighting for the first overall pick when it comes to everybody else in the bottom of the league. So New England, Carolina, New Orleans, New York Giants, and then our first 4 o'clock window game, the Las Vegas Raiders going to the Los Angeles Chargers. So Vegas, I think, is going to be awful this year. They don't have anybody on that roster other than Max Crosby and Devontae Adams. They should have paid Josh Jacobs, but what the hell do I know? I'm not a GM.
Yeah.
This is, for me, though, is a go-either-way game because I still do not have any clue who Justin Herbert is going to throw the football to this year. I really don't.
And I know I think he's still a little banged up coming into this year, I thought I heard. And I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not confident about it, but I think they have a few different pieces, like you mentioned, Max Crosby, Devontae Adams.
They got Brock Bowers.
That's what I was going to talk about.
So I think he'll be thrusted into the lineup immediately. Gardner Minshew, he's a backup.
Yeah.
He's a backup starter. But, when it comes to backups in the league, there could be worse. There's better, but there could be worse. So
I don't consider Gardner Minshew as much worse as Daniel Jones. You know what I mean? Like they're comparable.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. I'll go with Minshew too.
I think Minshew's a better passer than Daniel Jones.
Oh, 100%.
Sure.
He's not. I thought you were about to say better than Justin Herbert. I was about to say no, he's not.
No.
Justin Herbert. I feel bad for Justin Herbert because he is so damn talented.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And how about the Chargers taking most of the Baltimore Ravens backfield with Gus Edwards,
J.K. Dobbins. I like it if they weren't so injury prone.
Yeah.
If Dobbins can stay healthy, I think he'll have a hell of a year.
He'll be a good back there for sure.
Yeah. All right, so our next 4 o'clock window, we got the Denver Broncos traveling to Seattle. I like Denver.
Do you?
I like Bo Nix. I think I said this a couple weeks ago. People misinterpreted what I said when I said he's the most NFL-ready quarterback. Well, I'm not saying of all time. I accidentally said of all time, but obviously that's, that belongs to John Elway.
Yeah.
Clearly. But when it comes to, he had 61 career starts in college. You don't think that does something for you? And he played in the SEC first off, and then went to Oregon. Yeah. He was formerly known as Bo Picks because he threw too many interceptions. Now his accuracy is one of his strengths.
Yeah.
I think they go into Seattle, and I think they beat Seattle.
I think Bo Nix is going to be a great quarterback as well, especially as a rookie. And I think Vegas has some FanDuel Sportsbook, Vegas, all them. I think they have him for. He's kind of a long shot, but he has a chance for Rookie of the Year.
I can see that happening. I think it's going to go to Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels, but
I agree.
I think he has an outside shot for that.
I think so too. And from what I've seen some good clips out of training camp and stuff. He looks to be pretty good, but I'm still going to go with Seattle in this game.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going with Geno.
I'm going with Geno.
I still like Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I still do. I'm happy he won Comeback Player of the Year 2 years ago.
You don't see a lot of quarterbacks do what he did. Being, backup quarterback he was drafted in almost like 2014, 2015, I think. He's been in the league for so long. And he just
go figure.
That big contract.
Go figure. To the Jets.
Yeah, to the
Jets. See what happens. You know? And Geno Smith was so good in college. He really was. There was a game, I remember... it was West Virginia versus Baylor. It was like a 70-63 game. No defense whatsoever.
Yep.
But Geno Smith threw for like 650 yards, 7 touchdowns. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. So you're going Seattle. I'm going with Denver. Okay. So we'll see. I think that's an interesting game.
I think it is too. It's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next 4 o'clock window. Dallas going on the road to Cleveland.
I'm changing my mind. I'm going with Cleveland.
Have to. I'm going Cleveland also. Listen, I know they don't have Nick Chubb. And I know I have so many issues with Deshaun Watson. I have so many issues with that man, let alone the fact that he's a creep.
Yep.
But, I still think Cleveland is a star-studded roster. I think they're fantastic. And I do not think Dallas is going to be going on the road and beating Cleveland in Cleveland, especially with all the noise. I know they just paid CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You had to pay CeeDee Lamb. Otherwise, your wide receiving core was going to be comparable to New England's.
Yeah.
You got nobody else. You got a bunch of guys named Hurd on that team, and none of them are good. You needed CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
But now you got Dalvin Cook, injury prone. You got Zeke Elliott, old ass head.
Yep.
And you got Deuce Vaughn, unproven. And the offensive line is shaky, and you don't have Deron Bland to start the year. Is it Deron Bland, or is it their other cornerback?
Yeah.
You're missing one of them for the first game. Good luck guarding Amari Cooper and all them boys, and David Njoku and Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford is solid.
He is.
He's solid. He did good things for Cleveland. That's why I'm leaning Cleveland. I think they're going to run Jerome Ford, and I think to get Watson into the mix, I guess, they'll lean heavily on Cooper and Njoku in the, I'd say, quick passing game. I don't think Dallas is going to win in Cleveland.
I don't think so as well. I mean, Dallas, obviously a great team, but they tend to be pretty inconsistent throughout the year. And I just think week 1, I think Cleveland gets it done at home.
I'm hesitant to call them a great team. I really am. Because they're a great regular season
team. Get to the
postseason. You get to the postseason with Dallas, every time they make the playoffs, I know when they're going to win a wild card game. Mm-hmm. I was shocked Green Bay beat them the way they did. I actually won on FanDuel taking Green Bay money line.
Okay.
But at the same time, like everything that Dallas does, it's all regular season focus. You can win. The amount of NFC East titles you got, it don't matter. The amount of times you're going to make the playoffs, it don't matter. The amount of times you're going to host a playoff game, it does not matter. They're an accident waiting to happen. The accident's coming straight into the factory of sadness, but the factory of sadness is going to bully Dallas all night long. So I'm taking the Cleveland Browns.
Taking them as well.
Nice.
Okay.
You like that little rant?
I do.
Fuck. I hate Dallas.
I can tell. Don't we all?
The last 4:00 window game. Washington at Tampa Bay. I'm taking Washington and Jaden Daniels to go into Tampa and upset Baker Mayfield and them boys.
I'm taking Washington as well. I think Tampa has the best chance at this. I just would like to see Washington win, and I think with an outside chance, I think Jaden Daniels takes over week 1 as a rookie, and he has Terry McLaurin there. I think that's going to be his go-to guy.
Doesn't he have Austin Eckler?
Yeah, Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson as well. Yeah,
that's a solid running back duo. Solid. Austin Eckler's had some injuries, but, he's solid. I personally like Washington's direction, especially now that Dan Snyder is gone. That dude is a pain. That dude is horrible person, but I'm going to take an upset. Like I really like what I've been seeing from Jaden Daniels, and I can't wait for the Washington, OC just to let him loose. Yeah. Run around, make some plays, and I think he will.
I think Tampa's a team that's pretty good as well, but
I do too.
Like Dallas, they tend to be a little inconsistent.
They will be competing in their division. They will be. I think Atlanta takes that division this year, but Tampa's not far behind.
Yeah, with a lot of the rookie quarterbacks over the last few years, people like Anthony Richardson last year, you got a bunch of others that shine. All of them run the football. I think Jaden Daniels could be on that tier of quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're both going Washington. Yep, surprising Washington. To me. I'm very high on Baker Mayfield. I really do like Baker. Yep. So, but I think week 1, week 1 is full of BS that happens that is unexpected. So it's fine.
Tough to predict.
Literally very tough to predict. All right. Now we got the 8:20 game on NBC and Peacock for the first weekend to wrap up, at least on the Sunday night slate. We got the Los Angeles Rams going to Detroit. Goff against Stafford once again.
Yeah.
Goff got the better of Stafford in the playoffs. Goff is going to get the better of him in week 1.
I agree. There's just too many pieces to this Detroit team, especially that defense as well.
I love that defense now. Their secondary might actually be one of their strengths this year. It was awful. It was burnt toast all the way around last year.
It was.
But I think there's just a lot of moving pieces in LA. I think this is going to be a really good game.
I think so too.
Because I think LA, I have Detroit in my Super Bowl bubble. LA's on the outskirts.
Yeah.
They draft as well as anybody in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
I think they have a legit shot. If things fall their way, they can make a Super Bowl run. Yeah. I really do. I don't think it's going up against Detroit though.
So how do you feel about the running back situation there? I saw Sean McVay said Kyron Williams will be returning punts this year.
When it comes to, you got to have your playmakers on the field, no matter what. I know he's probably going to be your starting running back.
For sure.
But at the same time, other guys across the league, they have their backup wide receivers, people who are fast or who did it in college. At some point, just put your playmakers on the field.
Yeah.
Playmakers make plays. Like, that's what they're there for. Like, I don't care if they are your starters, especially with the new kickoff rule. Injuries aren't as likely to happen, especially concussions. So, why not put one of your best athletes on the field back there returning punts and kicks?
And it makes sense. Don't matter. They got a rookie drafted this year, Blake Corum.
I love Blake Corum.
Love him too. Last season, 1,245 yards and 28 total touchdowns.
At Michigan. Oh, Michigan. I can't wait to talk college football. I got so much shit to say about Michigan, but Blake Corum, I think he'll get a lot of touches this year. I really do. Kyron Williams, a stud from Notre Dame. He really was last year. So, but I'm still taking Detroit. I think they just got too much.
I'm taking Detroit as well. I
Awesome.
agree.
All right, and our final Week 1 matchup, Monday, September 9th. We got the New York Jets traveling to San Francisco to play the 49ers at 8:20 on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN+.
Who are you going with?
You want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
I'm taking the New York Jets.
I'm taking the 49ers.
To upset the 49ers. And here's the issue, okay? Do I think San Francisco is a better team than the Jets? Yes. Mm-hmm. I think, one, as much as I think he's overrated, I said he's the most overrated quarterback the past 15 years, Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. I will take Aaron Rodgers to go in there to beat Brock Purdy. I don't like Brock Purdy. I'm not a fan of Brock Purdy. I think he's the 16th or 17th best quarterback in the entire league.
He just has a lot around him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that inflates his numbers a little bit.
I think he's a product of the Kyle Shanahan system and the surrounding weapons.
Yeah.
McCaffrey, number 1 offensive line in football. Debo, Ayuk, a solid probably the best defense in all of the NFL, up there with Pittsburgh and Baltimore and Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's a product of Kyle Shanahan. You trade places Aaron Rodgers and Brock Purdy. Aaron Rodgers is leading San Francisco to the Super Bowl and beating the hell out of Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
So, I think. What's your opinion on Brock Purdy? Because personally, I don't think he's that good. I think he's the 17th best quarterback in the league.
I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's amazing as well. Like you talked about, he has a lot around him. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't say 17th. I'd go maybe like 14th or 15th. But I mean, I just, like you said, he has a lot around him, and he doesn't throw a bad football, though. But if you do something like put him on the Giants, I could see him not being very good. I could see him being almost kind of a Daniel Jones equivalent.
Mm-hmm. And then here's the problem. Like, also, Jets have something to prove.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh, his ass has been on the hot seat so much. He has permanent third-degree burns.
Yeah.
So I think he's got to show something. And I think the Jets will. Week 1 is always full of BS. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, an okay offensive line. Mm-hmm. I worry about them going up against the San Francisco front.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take an upset this week. I'm gonna take New York to go into San Francisco and upset them. Probably like a 20-17.
Yeah. I'm taking San Fran all the way.
All right. So that's our Week 1 NFL predictions. Man, we had a lot going on.
We did.
So now to finish off the episode, to finish off this week's show, we're gonna give you 5 games that we're gonna bet on. So go ahead, Ryan. We're just gonna see who has a better record at the end of the week.
Okay.
So go ahead. What are your pick'ems? And this is all from FanDuel.
Yep.
These are all FanDuel bets. So go ahead. Let's hear your 5.
I'm taking the Eagles money line versus the Packers this week. I'm taking Bears money line versus the Texans. Dolphins money line versus the Jaguars. Cardinals money line versus the Bills, and I'm taking the Vikings over the Giants. That's my 5 picks.
That Cardinals one, that's an interesting one.
It is.
My 5 picks, I got the Ravens money line plus 128 against the Kansas City Chiefs. I got Packers plus 128 over the Eagles. I got the Steelers plus 132 over Atlanta. I got the Browns minus 142 against Dallas, and then I got the Commanders plus 148 over, who do they play again? I forget.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's right, over Tampa Bay. So we're just gonna see who has a better record, who's better at betting, and I think that's me.
Probably gonna be you.
We'll see. Well, other than that, Ryan, I really appreciate you coming back on the show. It's been a while since we had time to catch up, and I'm glad you could come on and talk NFL with me today.
For sure. Hopefully I beat you in these picks.
Yeah, we'll find out, buddy.
For sure.
And that's going to wrap it up this week on The Lake Show, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave some comments down below. I'm your host, Dominic Lako. God bless.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up, so why?